Hello, my name is Daniel. I'm trying to make a video on Fishing Planet, but I haven't been able to. Let's see if I can get it to work now. What's today's date? 9/6. So I've been trying to make a video already for a while. It keeps cutting off. Um, hopefully it won't cut off. Hopefully it won't cut off this time. What was I wanting to say? So yes, if you haven't seen the news for the latest Fishing Planet, new update came out, and um, it's supposed to let you catch more fish, right? It's only on their end. I just played it, and I can tell you that while I did catch fish a little bit quicker, diminishing hotspots are still like super fast. For example, uh, I caught a unique coho pretty quick, and then I caught two more fish, and then it died. All right, so at one area I caught three. I haven't caught any unique Chinooks, but every day's been on cloudy. So I don't know if unique Chinooks bite during sunny days or what, but it looks like it's gonna be cloudy. It's horrible. This is bad weather for me. But luckily, I found that the coho really like to bite. Um, what is it? Spoons, and I switched over from the blue crankbait to the green crankbait. I also am using a smaller hook now because the 5/0 hook was a little bit too big. Fish didn't want to bite it. But overall, there's I I can tell that it did help because as you can tell by my other videos, I'll sit here for about 2 or 3 hours straight, catch about 5 fish, and that's it. Um, casting. There's fish now at more areas than there were before, but it's not a crazy catch fest like I would hope for. I'd hope to catch at least a fish every, you know, 2 or 3 casts. But they're nice sized fish, and I was shocked when I first got here because I caught a coho right here, and this is usually unique Chinook area, and nothing ever bites except for the rare pink salmon that you might catch right around the edge, because this whole place is littered with pink salmon. Um, but yeah, I was using this 4.0, thinking I'm gonna cast over here for about 2 hours or whatever, and catch my one unique Chinook, and that'll be it. But no, it looks like some fish have migrated, like they've migrated fish around. But I was also fishing with a green spoon or lime green spoon or lemon tiger, whatever the game has it labeled as. Because I forgot that that's what I had on. And I caught the coho all the way over here. I caught a chum over here. Oh, we got a fish already. Let's see what this is. This is fighting like a Chinook, so nope. It looks like a little fish. It looks like a coho. Let's bring him in. Or is that a chum? can't tell from the color palette. It's a chum. See, I've never been able to catch chum over here. This is the second chum I pulled out of this area. If you haven't seen when I first got here, you can take a look at how bad it is. For the average fisherman that doesn't have any kind of friends on Fishing Planet or any input from developers or looking at the forum or checking out videos, and you watch my first video, you'll know that I pretty much did what any average video gamer would do. Is take the stuff that they learned that they used in another area and then they apply it to the new area. And I caught one fish in about 4 hours. So to catch that chum right here, well no, I caught two. I found some chum way off over there by the mountain, and that was already towards the end of the game. So that was surprising. And now I just caught a chum like right off the bat using this crankbait right here. Um, that's kind of surprising. We'll see if we can keep it up. Like I told you, diminishing hotspots are just really fast. I can't. Oh, there's another one. Like I'll catch, two or three, and that's it. No more fish to be caught. All these chum salmon are gonna be getting caught over and over. It's fine. I'd rather catch those chum salmon than nothing. But of course, I knew I was gonna catch a unique eventually, and that was, one of those things that I would come. I knew I was gonna catch a unique if I just kept doing it over and over during high times, and it was almost guaranteed. But for $100 a thing plus the trip, I don't know if you really wanted to grind it out. I mean, I've made about 200 and something gold just grinding for uniques here, and I've been here for what 6 days now. I did leave, so I think I've been here for 9 days. I ended up leaving by mistake, but it's fine. I came back. They made it a little bit cheaper to fly back because made it back whenever the game had first um, opened the map. And people were complaining about how expensive it was to come out here, which was true. It's pretty expensive. Um, so I left and I came back, and they kept tweaking it, and yeah, it did get better and better. And as you can tell, I caught those two fish. Now, I'm not catching anything. Just like I said, like the diminishing hotspots. Like I'll catch a couple fish real quick, and then it's rolling. Let's see if we can get some more. I mean, the fish are here. Like there's no. Oh man, the fish are somewhere else. No, it's like this is where they're at, and if you don't catch them here, you're not gonna catch them anywhere else. It's like this is it. Oh, man, that fish startled me. Yeah, that's probably a pink salmon. They love to try to snag your lure right at the edge. I mean, this is the easiest spot to catch a fish. You put on your crankbait, make sure it's like a 4/0 hook or 5/0 hook if you got that. Not too deep. I think the deepest you could probably work with is a 12 foot. I have this 8 foot green 5/0 hook. I was using 4/0 hook. I was using a blue and white, and that was one of my favorites to use. But I was losing fish more than catching fish, and I'd rather catch fish than lose it. So I'm using this now. Also, the cohos like this fish, so it's a multi-purpose lure. I can catch the coho, I can catch the chinook. It's not a big deal. Um, like I was trying to explain, this is it. This is the place right here. Just keep casting it, reeling it straight back in. This is where you catch a fish. And as you can tell, I caught the two fish. Now, nothing. I mean, there's no secret to it. It's not like aim at the tree, get it 180 feet out there, jig it once or twice, like the walleye in New York, where you have to break 180 feet or something. You got to use the purple lure instead of the black lure, and you got to have a jig, and it only bites on the worm, and this and that, and it only bites during cloudy from 4 to 7 or whatever. That's not what it is over here. Over here, it's just make sure you're fishing during peak times, and you'll catch a fish. Oh, there we go. I just had to move. This one seems a little heavier than that chum. Let's see what it is. Like I said, they. Oh, is this another chum? I think so. No, it's a Chinook. What is that? Oh yeah, it's a Chinook, a trophy. So yeah, like I said, they made it so that so different fish will get a chance to spawn over here now. It's not just gonna be a uni Chinook or a trophy Chinook. Um, you'll have a chance to catch. Oh, you got a second one. You'll have the chance to catch the chum or the coho or even pink salmon, and so that's good with the new server-side patch that just came out. They seem to be tuning it even better. Like here we go. This is the coho right here. Just pulled out a coho, trophy coho. That's a keeper. That's going right inside my keep net. We're at 67 pounds. I've been fishing, 30 minutes because I fast forwarded it to 5. But like I said, diminishing hotspots are real. I was standing over there on the other island, over there, caught 2 fish, died down fast, came over here, switched it up, started casting towards that green pine, that yellow pine, I mean those birch trees or whatever. Caught those 2 fish back to back, and now we're gonna see if it dies down over here, another diminishing hotspot. Like I'm saying, that's the problem with Alaska, is that you'll catch them, boom, boom, dead. And so for these big fish, there's not a lot of areas to go to. It's just this area and all the way to the far left side. That's it. Everywhere else, it sucks. You have to fish at like the Middle Earth. It's all rocky. You're constantly getting snagged. Um, the water over there, it's so fast. It's just a chore to fish on that area. I mean, there is the unique bull trout. I have a video where I caught the unique bull trout, and it's real easy to catch right around the edge, but it's a chore to babysit the shad to get it around the stone, and it's rare that you'll catch a unique. The way I caught that unique bull trout was purely coincidental. I was trying to reel it in. It snagged my shad right when I was moving the line, and I hauled it in. You could have said I hauled it in by mistake. It just got on my hook. I hauled it in. It was a unique bull trout. Straight up surprise for me. Didn't expect to get it, but there it was, and yeah, it worked. Um, there was a time when I was able to crankbait the crawfish 3 feet crankbait, 6 feet cranks. I think it was a 6 feet crawfish crank right around the rocks, and it was constantly biting. But I haven't been able to pull that off. I'm pretty sure that works during the daytime. Hasn't been working during cloudy, so I haven't really worked out a cloudy routine. So far, this has been working great. I'll come over here to the cabin. I'll fish this little area. I'll catch me my 5 little fish, and then I'm stuck during the day trying to find out what to do. I can't break the poundage. I can't close. I can't get my limit before the day gets dark. At least I haven't been able to. But like I said, the new patch came out. I just played it for a little bit. Um, I had to update my drivers, and once I updated my NVIDIA drivers, I was able to stream again. And I'm doing it right now with you guys, trying to catch this fish, trying to catch these fish, trying to get them out, trying to show you where they're at, trying to show you what's wrong with the game, trying to show you how to catch them. So I've seen a lot of people are watching the videos and trying to catch them for you guys. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I don't want y'all to be like, maybe I know someone who's telling me where they're at, or making it a chore for uh, any fisherman that or video virtual fisherman to come and play the game and be like, oh man, that's one of those games that it's more of a chore than to actually play the game. Because everybody I talk to, they're like, yeah, I play the game because it's, they say it's relaxing, but there's no video game that's actually relaxing. Well, it's kind of like a chore. I was gonna say this is a chore, but everybody knows it's you against the fish. Either you bring the fish in, or the fish doesn't ever get on the hook, or the fish breaks. It's a challenge. You have to catch the fish. You have to go get them. It's not freaking water and plants like Vivaldi or whatever that game is called, Vivendi, which is a game on Steam where all you do is water cactuses, or a farming simulator, or dress up, or whatever. A game that doesn't have, oh, another pink salmon. A game that doesn't have not a ending or not a fail state. This game has a fail state. You don't catch fish. That's the fail state. When you catch fish, that's the win state. And so people are like, I don't want to, win by having to constantly look up videos, do research, this and that. And a lot of Fishing Planet players are real life fishermen. I'm a real life fisherman. I've been tweaking my lures and I've been adding them, and I used to have a camera, but then it fell and it broke, and I haven't been able to get it to work. I really want to get a new one so I could at least record some stuff, some real life fishing lure stuff, some real life fish hints. Because I've been switching out hooks. I can show you little hacks on how to switch a hook with wire strippers instead of buying, what are they called? O-ring pliers, which I've been doing earlier. I put some little blades on some real life crankbaits, and it looks amazing. It looks like a little fish that swims. It's actually the same color as the lure I'm using in the game, except I took the treble hook off the back and I put what is it called? Colorado blade on it. And I switched the hook on the bottom towards this big mustad hook that I got in the mail. Is that a fish or is that a... Nah, it's not a fish. That's... What's it called? A snag? And I took it out to a little pond that's not too far from here, and it swims amazing. It looks great. The colors match. The lure is nice and small. The blade looks like a tail. It actually wiggles. It doesn't get all matted up, but it sinks. And I have another one. I have a live target. Crankbait that's enormous, and it looks like a school of minnows all stuck together. It's also the green like chartreuse, and I was thinking about seeing if I put the Colorado blade on the back of that, if it would float. I just haven't done it. I got bags of real life lures. I got bags of real life lures on the floor. I got a message on my phone. It's probably somebody trying to tell me to be quiet. Oh, never mind. Thought that was a message for me. It's just my mother coming from out of town. Just being gone to a wedding. Alright. What was I saying? So the dimension hop spots have hit hard. You saw I fished for an hour here. Caught those 4 fish, boom. Now I have to leave. There's nothing there. It's dead. So what am I going to do? I could stay there constantly, just fishing and fishing and fishing and fishing and fishing it, not catch a thing. I might catch a uni, have no idea. Haven't done it, don't want to try it, want to catch a fish. I get tired of just sitting there, going over and over and over and over and over, knowing that the game has diminishing hotspots and this and that. So let's come all the way down here. So we spawned over there, fish that area. Now we're gonna come all the way down here, this little area. I'm gonna stand here next to these stones, and I'm gonna look across towards that beach right there. That dead pine or that widowed pine, whatever that is, that fir. Right around here, there's a little crazy snag, so you need to watch out. I've caught fish from here all the way over here. Never caught anything on this side. Don't know what's out there. Don't want to find out. I might find out later. Not gonna find out right now. Um, so that hotspot completely dead. Don't know if it'll replenish itself. Don't know how diminishing hotspots work. Oh, here we go. You see what I mean? As soon as we came down here, boom! It's like on fire, right? Like, yeah, we're catching fish. Nah, it's just those 2, 3 crazy fish that bite your lure instantly, and then the game dies. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just fast forward, just catch those 4 fish and fast forward? Like, that's I don't know. If you're into that, I mean, yeah, it's a good fight. Like, man, this fight is a good fight. Like, I had to hold the rod up, I had to turn it, have to reel it in, have to fight it, have to put my drag up and everything, and have to make sure that I don't lose the fish. I mean, it feels amazing. It feels like yeah, if I don't do it right, I'm gonna lose them, and I like that. But I don't like it that it's 2, 3 fish. Then I have to go do something else. I mean, this river is pretty, it's big, but it's only big. It's only a certain big. And I was hoping that I could spend the time catching some good fish, and they would be like, okay, yeah, I'm using the time right. Nah, but the diminishing hotspots are just incredibly, incredibly like fast. Like it just okay, you caught the fish, boom, no more fish for you. It's like, well, you can tell, you can see what's going on. Judge it for yourself. Seeing people catching 30 fish over here. I'm also not using the bullet spinners, which I really think the bullet spinners kind of have like a curve, or what's that called, where one of the things is better than the other. I don't remember what the word is. Uh, like I think they're weighted or something. I don't know. I don't know what the phrase would be. I can't think of it on the fly. But basically, I think that the bullet spinners have a higher choice, have a higher chance of catching more fish than crankbaits. Don't quote me on that. It's just my own projection. Like I want that to be the excuse for me not catching fish constantly. I don't want to just burn the game and be like, oh, your game's broke. You get 2, 3 fish and that's it. I gotta fast forward, spending all my money, wasting my time. What's the point of that? I'll go spend an hour in Alaska and then I have to leave. Like that's just it kind of makes it pointless. I mean, I know it seems pointless to me because I have good gear, but still, even if I didn't have good gear, I've I've caught. Oh, that's a snag. I've caught heavier fish on lighter line, and it doesn't. It does take me. It does take a while. I won't lie, but it's not gonna take you 12 hours to land a fish. You can catch 2 fish in 2 hours, approximately. That's still a lot of time to catch more fish. I know I fought a fish for about 40 minutes because I was using ultralight line, an ultralight rod, and that's 40 minutes in game time. Real life time is about 10 minutes, I think, 15. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. I just know it was pretty epic. It felt fine. You know, the fish would run. I had to adjust my drag. I had to fight them. Had to turn them. This and that. It was cool. Maybe it's because I'm not fishing with the right lures. Maybe it's because I need to switch lures. I should use a nymph. Who knows? I just know that this green crankbait is working. I'll catch them. I did catch a unique coho earlier. It's only 6 o'clock, but what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is, if I don't fast forward all the way to like 7 or 8, right when the peak, when the time is high, and it's exclusively try to fish for uniques and catch 2 or 3 fish and the hotspot diminishes, I won't have a chance to fish this area anymore. Oh man, that made me jump. Oh, that made me jump out of my up. Made me jump in my chair. So that's another one that at least showed up. Whew. Someone said that they were catching them on shad, but I haven't tried any shad. I just know that this crankbait works. It's easy. Put it on 2, hold it down, crank it in. It's doing its job. Uh, I've done it. I usually fish a crankbait on speed 3. I hold it down, let it wiggle down, then I let it float up, right? Then I repeat it, hold it down, let it float up, hold it down, let it float up. But over here it wiggles by itself because there's a current, and I don't know if you can catch a fish while it's wiggling or what's going on, and so I just hold it down, let it come in. You can do it speed 1, you can do it speed 2. Speed 2 works for me. I wouldn't do it on speed 3. Speed 3 just seems way too fast. It'll burn through the entire lake or this little river at a high speed. So as you can see, I made it. Boom, boom, boom. I was catching them back to back to back to back. 6:31. I already spent my time. I just whipped the hotspots. Now the hotspots don't want to give me nothing else. If I was like in Colorado or Florida or heck even New York, sometimes it's crazy in New York catching pickerels and stuff. I haven't been back there in a long time because they don't give you a lot of XP, and I need to catch bigger fish. I know a lot of people are complaining about Michigan and California. California is so hard sometimes to catch stuff over there. It just doesn't really pay off. The grind is ridiculous. Like I don't know why they made it like a RPG experience grind instead of just keeping the grind simple. You know, I know they wanted to lock up the fishing lakes and have people go over there, but the grind from uh, the levels, it's just gets to the point where you need to catch 300,000 fish. That means that means a million casts if you want to be given a conservative number. If you say every 3 casts you catch 1 fish, you're looking about 900,000 casts. I mean, who's really gonna put the time out for that? I don't. I know there's players that have incredible high levels, but they've also gamed the game. They gamed the game hard back whenever before the 3 bars on the right side came out. You could horse the fishes in and not break a line, not break a rod. I know you've seen those videos in the past that I had loaded up. I could take the a level 3 rod as long as it goes far enough, and as long as I can get it hooked, I could catch um, the biggest fish in the game and not have to worry about it. I'm like level 3 catching the biggest fish in the game because I was gaming the game. Once you set the hook in, all you had to do is just right click over and over and over and over, and it would never break your line. And you could horse them in. You could catch. I was catching 80 fish a day because it was just easy. Um, I know I spent hours and hours just landing them like nothing. Just catch them, bring them in, catch them, bring them in. It was so easy. I was fishing with the lowest level gear that could just the bare minimum. And so a lot of players game the game, and those are some of the hardcore players that are still left. They know that the game was pretty much broke. They would game the system, use the weather for their advantage, and just catch the uniques, catch the trophies over and over and over and over and over and over without spending any coin, without spending any cash, without even thinking. It was like, yeah, I don't even have to think for myself. It was you could have almost macroed it at that point where um, you would just get experience over and over. And I had stopped playing because it had started turning into like a calculator game where, or it started turning into the spreadsheet where it's like go only between certain hours, use only certain lures, and fish a certain way, or you won't do good in the game. You won't do good at winning. You won't win, and you won't set any records. You won't get any better. You won't advance. You're basically just gonna, if you don't start treating the game like a system, like a calculated machine, you'll never uh, advance at an appropriate rate. It's like you hit a wall. They let you coast real easy, and then you get to a certain area and you hit that wall, where they completely bend the difficulty curve, and you're left there with either game to game like everybody else, or spend hour after hour after hour after hour using the just playing at the normal, catching normal fish and trying to get any experience, trying to get any cash, trying to get any gear. Lost playing the game that you have no idea where anything is at because you're walking around, don't know what is going on, don't know what works. All these normal co-hosts. I've never caught so many normal co-hosts, and I've been playing this level for hours and hours. I think I've spent maybe 18 hours here in Alaska, and I've never caught these many co-hosts. I've caught some uniques, yeah, sure. I catch the unique because that's the only thing that was working, the trophies. But normal fish, it was never happening. I know there's a lot of normal Chinooks, and I mean, we might go over there. I know where the normal Chinooks spawn. That kind of got me surprised that I've been able to catch so many normal cohos. I fished over here for hours, literally in the morning. I'll sit here from I haven't done it recently, but I did. I sat here from 10 till what 2 or 3 o'clock fishing and fishing and nothing. And that's part of my problem is that I don't want to spreadsheet the game. I don't want it to be like, okay guys, there's no other thing to Fishing Planet but to fish at that little area and that 2 foot diameter, or you won't catch anything. Like this map looks amazing. Look at that mountain range. Look at those pine trees. Little did you know that everything in this river is dead. It's just dead. And I'm hoping they'd get away from that. And it seemed like, okay, Alaska's gonna turn into one of those spreadsheet maps where you're never gonna advance at all because you're not fishing at the correct times for the correct sized fish. Other than that, you won't get a thing. Just thinking about it gets me all stirred up. But I know that I know that I don't want to play the fishing game if it's gonna turn into a calculated, uh, what would be the word? Like a calculated assault, where I have to be like, all right, where it's not even fishing for fishing's sake, where it's just fishing like a drone, like I'm just like a fishing drone. I don't go fishing in reality to freaking do an ecology class and find out how many fish are at the lake. I go fishing because I just go and throw my lures around. Know there's fish in the water. I'll go fishing for a couple of hours in real life. I'm talking about real life fishing. I'm not talking about in the video game. And I mean, there's times where it's dead, but of course I'm fishing from the shore. I don't have a boat. And so I play this game because I know in real life I'll be lucky enough to catch one or two fish. I don't want the game to turn into real life where I'm spending hour after hour fishing, not catching anything, not being able to advance because it's done turned into a like a freaking MMO where they want you to grind a certain amount of mobs, but with a fishing line and lure instead of like a sword and stuff. And it's like, oh, you found the boss. You gained a bunch of experience, and so it just becomes, I'm not gonna play the MMO anymore until the boss spawns, and then I'll just show up to kill the boss. Oh, that's a unique coho. Nice. I'm gonna take a picture of that sucker. So, this unique coho came out. I'm relieved. This fishing spot doesn't seem to be dead. Of course, I'd rather be catching Chinooks than coho, but I find that the coho are biting, and so I'm just staying here. I know if they were biting in the other area, I wouldn't have came all the way over here. I'll tell you that. I would have stayed over there. Um, I'm relieved that I got a unique because that means that Alaska has improved. Like I was telling you, this is the server side update. They said that the server side update for Alaska would try to fix some of the fishing. It's fixed it for me because I can guarantee that if you go and look at my other videos, you'll see how poor the fishing was here. Two or three fish at a time. There's even someone who made a comment that was like, if I was like, did you only catch one fish the entire day? I was like, yeah. I mean, Alaska's pretty much dead. If you don't go during a certain area to a certain spot, you won't catch anything. Let's reel this guy in. Don't want to lose him. It starts giving a lot of slack once they get close to the edge. So I'm almost filled up my fish net. I'm at 152. I just need 50 more pounds. That's about 5 more fish. Let's see how long this hotspot lasts. I'm using the 8-foot 4/0 green crankbait. I'm just rolling it in on speed 2. I have the sports gear, the heavy casting sports gear with 30-pound braid. If you don't know the what's it called, what is that, drag, the perfect drag for this is to keep it at 3 and then reel it in, and once you set the hook and once you get your line tight, increase the drag by 1. If you increase the drag beyond 4, your line will automatically break. It's always a broken line. So keep your drag at 3. As soon as you land your fish and you get into a fight, notch it up to drag 4. Never go over drag 4, or you'll end up uh, breaking something. You'll break your line, you'll lose your lure, you might damage your rod and reels. Uh, I've been fishing with this rod already for about 3 months, so I kind of, ever since the special came out, I think it was July. So what's that? Yeah, about starting around 3 months now. been fishing this with this reel, so I pretty much said I spent a lot of time in California just breaking stuff because I wanted to test it. I wanted to test it. I wanted to find out for myself. I didn't want the book to tell me. I didn't want some other person to tell me. But that's just me trying to do it the normal man style, trying to, not ask for a guide, trying to be like every other Joe, like an average Joe that just turns on his game, uses real life fishing experience, and it's like, okay, in reality, I fish with a blank and blank. You might fish with a crankbait, you might fish with a spinnerbait, you might be a worm guy, a plastic guy. And so when I first started playing, I tried to do it like in reality, where I like flick the rod all the way up to the top and try to drag the bait on the bottom. But it turns out you don't have to do all that. You just have to work the right mouse button, the left mouse button, and it'll catch your fish that way. But like I wanted to do was go to an area, explore it, catch them just by going around to areas. But that don't work. That don't work. I mean, that's what I want to happen. It don't work. There's just so much wasted land space in the games. It kind of makes me sad. It makes me not want to play the games, knowing that I can't fish it there. I can't catch fish there because the game won't put a fish. In reality, where I would know that there are fish there, like over here, there would probably be little fish around here, or like I could see the fish. Like I would be able to see fish and fish. You know, I know that it's different because they'd probably be spooked and run away and this and that. But what I mean is that uh, this hotspot stuff is really killing me, and the weather times and everything. It's way too calculated for me. There's nothing natural about it. It's like go out, basically you're shooting the fish in a barrel during certain amounts of times, and people already know when the fish appears, so you just shoot it on the timer instead of shooting it like you're actually hunting or actually using instinct or applying anything that you have learned. It's just like all that you've ever learned, just forget about it and just use just repetition to do it. There's no point in using your brain in a lot of stuff. Um, that's what I didn't like. I didn't like not using my human nature, my human instinct, and applying it from reality into the virtual game space. It was just a joke. It's like, why am I learning all these skills for imaginary purposes? Like the game is basically, it's like, you know, okay, there's probably a fish over there. All right, I'm gonna cast it over there. Nothing. You know, the game automatically has areas where you're at. Okay, the area of fish is only over here to the left, right? That's where it's gonna be. I mean, I know Alaska is not a good place to talk about it because you can tell I've been catching them like crazy, right? Like, it was not at all like this. It was not. Trust me, it was not. And I'm only doing these big fish. 'Cause there's a lot of fish like over there in the Middle Earth area where there's three more different breeds of fish that like to spawn there. I haven't gone over there because it's real difficult to get the fish to bite. I mean, I don't think I'm using the right stuff. Like I think I need to use nymphs over there. I'm not sure what's over there, but this is the most varied that any old person, any normal person, any like any gamer that games it 3 or 4 hours at a time that I might play the game would do. Um, you could say that a lazy person, or you can call them whatever you want, but they're just gonna get They're gonna get their favorite rod, they're gonna get their favorite lure, and they're gonna go dip it in the pond and work it a couple of times, work it around the grass, work it around the rocks, uh, throw it around, cover and this and that, and try to get their fish on their line. And if they don't, then they'll call it a day. No harm done. But that's in reality. That's you're using your mind. You actually have to use your body to control it, and this and that. And so when the game became this drudgery of repetitiveness, for example, the unique bull trout is in an area that's this wide right here, for example, the unique bull trout would only spawn in the area as big as this. So when you first come here, you see this entire lake, and you're like, or river, and you're like, oh my God, where could the fish be? Where could all right, let's start fishing. Let's start fishing it. So you start going, but there's nobody in their right mind would literally do this. All right, that's where the fish are, and just jig it and jig it and jig it and jig it and jig it, unless they had it information about it, unless they had a radar, unless they had um, eyesight or an intrinsic knowledge of where of species of fish would appear, or um, any kind of previous information that they could apply to that certain type of species for that. Okay, the game does say trout like to be behind rocks. Well, when you go to Middle Earth, there are loads and loads of rocks. So according to the game, there's bull trout behind all of the rocks. No, and it's not like the game gives you a ton of different things to try out. There's only a limited amount of things that trout would eat. I mean, I can't put a bass jig and jig it behind the stones and expect the trout to appear, because I know I'm never gonna catch one, because the game is not like in reality, where in reality I probably could catch a bull trout. I'm not saying that I have, or that I have evidence to prove that has happened. But what I'm saying is that could happen, because if a fish is hungry enough and the fish sees a jig and thinks it's a crawfish, and it has eaten crawfish before, and it's a natural predator, it could theoretically bite my jig. But in this game, it wouldn't, and it's become this thing where it's like you won't get an experience. You won't be able to unlock uh, a new map. You won't be able to unlock new gear, because I'm telling you to play the game like an Excel sheet. And I have the Excel sheet, and it's just like, okay, man, I don't want this to turn into to school, into an academy where I'm like um, making it to a system. Like, I want to play a game because it's a video game. It's entertainment, not like to make muscle memory. I'm pretty sure that I've cast and retrieved so much that I don't even have to think about it. I don't even have to be like, what was that technique again? Uh, how do you do this again? It's just like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. And I could like stop playing for about 3 or 4 months and come back, and this instinct would be to how to fish the lure would just be inside of me, like riding a bike or something. And when the game throws me a curveball, and it's like, okay, uh, you fish, for example, a spinner bait. When I fish it, I do a straight retrieve. Even if it's an inline spinner, on here you got to do lift and drop. You got to do stop and go. Like, I've never in my life fished a spinnerbait stop and go. I've never in my life fished a spinnerbait lift and drop. Like that's where jigging it. Like basically to me, lift and drop is like jigging, and stop and go is how I would fish Texas rig. Never in my life have I used anything that has a blade on it and jigged it up and down. I know people fish spoons like that where they jig them up and down, but they're on boats or well, I know that people have done them from the shore, but it's real difficult. There's a ton of vegetation that you have to go through, and it'll just constantly mat up on the bottom. And so when I'm playing the game and nothing bites my lure because of that, and I'm making the video, I'm streaming it, it leaves me wondering, leaves the viewers wondering, this guy's not catching any fish. What's going on? It's just because that's just my nature. That's how I fish it in reality. If you've ever fished a spinning bait in reality, you'll automatically know what it means to fish the spinning bait and how you do it when you come to the game. It's not there's not that many, it's not like a spinning bait is not a lure that you put on the bottom, crank it 2 or 3 times and let it rest. Because if you do, you're not going to get any of the shiny, you're not going to get any of the light flickering, you're not going to get any fish is not going to draw attention. Now a spoon is different. A spoon you can rest on the bottom of you, you can rest a spoon on the bottom of the bed of the like the river bed or the lake bed, and then jig it up really quick, and it'll flash, and the fish will bite spoons that are on the bottom. I'm gonna release this coho right here. It's the smallest. So before I release it, I did go over by 3 pounds, right? I did get that unique coho. Didn't get any what's it called? Any Chinooks, but that's fine. Well, I did get this one. I got these two. But like I was saying, this is server-side patch, and all this was virtually non-existent before. It would be 1, 2, 3, and then done, done. You can look at my other videos, just done. And this is average Joe fisherman. I'm not connected to anybody on Fishing Planet. I don't have a Fishing Planet like clan. I hardly spend any time on the forum. I just play the game so that people can watch them. Probably one of the only American streamers that plays the game and does things in imperial, which are feet and inches and pounds. And I don't play the game in metric, and you can see me stream the videos every now and then. Feel free to leave a comment. I know some people are complaining about my audio. I can't do nothing about it. That's just how I can get it. But these are all fish that are now in there, so feel free to come to Alaska and give it a try. I'll go ahead and show you my rod and reel setup. Like I said, this is the sports pack. Both of these come together as the heavy casting thing. The heavy casting sports one. I bought the entire sports tournament bundle. Like I got the hat and stuff. It's the only thing that I wear. This jacket is one-time DLC that I have. Christmas DLC, I think, that gives me that jacket. It's only a DLC jacket. Braid .011. It's a 30 pound braid on the green 8 foot 4.0 crankbait. oops. That's what happened. I clicked on the world thinking I was gonna go back to the game space. I fast forward. It was cloudy. I fast forwarded all the way to 5, and from 5 to 9, I maxed out my fishing thing. It's good because looking over here, I did have a premium, and I just wasted my time not fishing because, like I said, it was a chore. It's a chore. It's a chore, man. It's not when it's not like it's a chore trying to get these levels. It's a chore trying to get this XP. Like I said, there's 1800. Okay, let's try to break it down real quick. Okay, that's one, two. That's 1,000, 180,000, right? Okay, 180,000 to get to level 20. Okay, this has given me 161, for example. Just the first fish, 161. So how many fish would I have to catch? 161, 161. Is that 1,000? I had to catch 1,000 of these. One, two, three, four. That's 5. 200 times what I have to do what I just did. 200 times on average. Unless you have a chart and have intrinsic knowledge of things that would happen beyond your normal control, beyond your normal instinct, beyond an average person's knowledge to catch things like this, 1,000. Okay, so let's just say that's 880, right? All right, 880. Only caught 2, but let's say you had a whole basket full of them. 880. 880 into that is what? 20,000? 80, 180. Oh man, I'm not even good at math. I'm not good at math. Whatever. I don't even remember. I don't even remember. I don't even want to gripe about it anymore. I forgot to release that fish. I gotta release the fish. Let's release this small coho right here. Boop, release. Okay, 15, 20. Alright. So if I had to give you a heads up, I would say Alaska is now given more fish, given normal fish. I didn't catch a unique Chinook. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Uh, it's up to you. Personally, I enjoyed catching the fish, even if I don't get big fish. 873, and so it gives you a little bit more payout catching all these grays now, or white names. Okay, let's see. Let's go to our fish chart. Let's do the same thing. Go all the way up to 5 p.m. just like I did. Alright, this time I'm gonna come over here. Boom. Boom. We saw what we could pull over there. We pulled 220 pounds of fish in what, 3 game hours. In reality, that was how many hours? I don't know. I don't know how long my stream has been going. There's no way for me to measure it. But if you don't know, this is what I'm telling you about. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and ruin the game for you because what is this? What's my leader at? This is Saint Valentine's DLC. It's probably the best in the game, except for the River Tech Salmon gear. Doing the this would be like the Brutus, and this would be the Double Punch, but these are DLC. This is 32-pound mono, 4-aught hook with shiners and 45-inch leader. Just try to get it around this little area. The reason I do that is so that the bait can get at the bottom. But like I was saying, like I was grabbing earlier, like we got all this water space, like all of it, like all of this. Like why isn't there fish here? And why isn't there? You know, it looks good. It looks like that's where a fish would be. Like if I came and the first look, I'd be like, yeah, I'm about to cast right here in the middle where the water, where the channel is, because this looks real shallow. Nope, nope. You want to catch a fish? You know where you have to go when you're here at Middle Earth? Literally, this between this rock and this rock, where you can catch a unique. Are you telling me that big fish cannot be found here, 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 here? No, they don't. It won't let you. It won't let you catch a big fish. I've seen big fish show up in the craziest of spaces. For example, if I had to pick an area, I'd pick right here where the water breaks from the current and starts getting shallow and deeper. There's usually going to be it's going to be riverbed, and it's going to start turning into sand or dirt, and then it's going to get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's just going to go right. And of course, there's going to be rocks on the sides and stuff, but there's going to where all the sediments have pushed from the mountains, brought all the dirt, all the tidal flooding, and all that stuff you learn about in school comes into play. The current slows down and meets the heavier body of water. It does like a pressure change. Fish go here because it brings bait fish down, and once they hit this area, it slows down, and all they're doing is sitting here conserving energy. Here comes the bait fish. Boom! They just suck it up in here to get fat, and that's that makes sense of why there's the Chinook is out here and not in here, right? All right, so yeah, I would fish here. So here I know there's Chinook because I've caught them with spoons. But like the game says, behind the rocks are the trout. So that would mean behind this rock, behind this rock, behind this rock, behind this rock, behind that rock, behind all those rocks would be a trout. Nope, nope. You might catch a trout every now and then, but guess what? Do you want to catch the biggest trout in the game? Do you think the game gives you an option to catch the biggest trout all the way over there? Like in reality, you wouldn't know. You'd be like, "Oh man, where could that big trout be? Oh man, it's probably somewhere over here, over there, right?" No, it's just in a tiny, tiny niche, no man world spot right here. And I wouldn't have anything to grab about if it was like this whole area. You have a chance to catch a unique, this whole area because there's rocks, and that would make sense in reality. But no, the way that the guys want to design it is that they want a spot to have the area. Some gamers might like it, but me, I've been playing fishing games since I was a little kid. And I can tell you, it is one of the happiest moments ever when you're casting naturally off into the distance, fishing the game, how the game taught you, how you learned the game, and out of nowhere, here comes this lunker, freaking 13-pound behemoth that you were not expecting because you're fishing the pads, fishing the grass, and you caught the game was just like, yeah, this is where a big lunker would appear. Instead of being like, okay, the big lunker only appears at that lily pad. So just throw it at the lily pad, and that's the only place the fish is gonna appear. And that's how this game has turned into. It's not a game where you're actively hunting. You're not. It's basically you're not given a choice anymore to fish the game. It's like You can pretend like it doesn't exist, and that's fine. You know, some players want to pretend like, oh yeah, I might just catch a unique. You won't catch one. You will not catch a unique unless you follow the strict guides that the game has set out. And I don't like that. I don't like that I'm forced to play by I guess I'm saying I wouldn't like I'm not forced that I'm not I don't like that I'm forced to play by those rules. We got a snag. And I haven't came over here while it's cloudy either. So I'm wondering if I even catch anything. I mean, I'll spend a I'll go ahead and spend a few minutes here, try to see if I can get anything. I really, honestly, I don't think anything bites here when it's cloudy. I've had such a bad time trying to catch anything in this area. The only thing I could ever get, the only thing I could get out of here constantly was pink salmon, and that's what I did before I streamed because I checked out Alaska before I tried to stream it, but my streaming thing was broke. I had to update, and I checked it out, and the only thing I was getting out of here was pink salmon. I mean, I know that's where the bull trout bite because I can get them out of there over and over and over. There's more spawning zones because the game works to spawn like circles. Like if you imagine like red circles where the fish could show up at. And the spawn zone for the bull trout is from that rock all the way around this rock, all this little area where they can show up. But just exclusively unique, the biggest size, the size that gives you gold, is between this rock and that rock, which has been what other players have proven. If anybody discovers another area where you could possibly catch them, and I find out about it, or if I discover another area, I'll definitely share it, definitely tell people about it. I don't really like keeping many secrets about fishing. Fishing secrets are not my big thing. I might keep them in real life if I don't want people going and destroying my little natural habitat where I know that I'm catching fish and feeding myself. I mean, I might not tell people, but if it's a public area, then yeah, and there's people already fishing, then I'll be like, if you use here we go. Uh, what is my what was my setting for this rod? Completely forgot. So there we go. As you can tell, bull trout is right here. I'm not lying. That's where the bull trout show up. The only reason this is probably not a unique is because it's 536, and my bar is not that high. The higher this bar is, the easier it is to catch unique. So during the daytime, it's like really easy, unique. For about 2 hours in the morning, it's just like unique. Like your chances for uniques are almost guaranteed, and then it just drops down. And this is all like trophy, and this is normal, and this is basically dead. And then again, your chances for uniques are real high. So like I'm saying, the chances for uniques are probably from here to here, which is about. I'm guessing. I'm not too sure what these timers are. I'm certain that this is 12, and I'm certain that this is 5, and I'm certain that this is 9. But I have no idea what these numbers mean. So I'm wondering if this is like I don't know whether this is 5 to 7 to 9 to 12 to 5 to 7 to 9. That's what I'm wondering, but I doubt it. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'd rather catch a bull trout than nothing. But still, like Why can't I fish any other area? This lake, this river is great. It looks magnificent. It looks like it should be bustling with life. There should be life everywhere here. I should be able to fish on the other side of the river and catch bull trout. Because yes, I could, I can walk that side of the beach and go to that area and fish that side, but there's no fish there. There's no bull trout. You can't catch any bull trout over there, and I mean that's just a crying shame. That's just a shame that the developers are spending insane amounts of times creating these rivers, creating these pretty rivers, and putting all the time and effort into doing these, but because they're limited by the way their game works, they're not able to make it like a more natural ecosystem. See if I can wiggle another fish out of these stones. Oh, there we go. What's this, sockeye or Dolly Varden? That's a Dolly Varden. This is a good area to come fishing with shrimp. If you don't have shiners, you have shrimp. Come over here and fish this area with shrimp. You will catch a fish here, even if it's pink salmon. Um, if you want pink salmon, use 1/0 hooks. If you don't really want pink salmon, then use 4/0 hooks. Um, I fished this area with 6 feet crawfish, 3/0 crankbaits. I just throw it up here and I'll fish it. I throw it over there, I'll fish it. And I've caught fish, but it's not like over and over and over. It was not like I was catching the cohos. Like, that's probably been the best fishing I've had in Alaska at at all, and that's documented. The other videos that I have, you can tell Alaska's pretty much just blowing me out of the water. No fish at all. Except for this here recording, this has been the most salmon, even though they're not trophies or uniques. I don't, even though I don't have a basket of uniques or a basket of trophies, which of course, I would love to have, 10 uniques. Like, who wouldn't? Like, who wouldn't want to play a game that gives them the best of the best, especially a fishing game? Oh, I got another snag. It's already getting to be 12. I might have to call it for now. It was an amazing day. It makes me want to not stop playing. It makes me want to not stop recording. It makes me want to keep fishing. And that's good. I mean, that's basically why I started playing Fishing Planet. Because if it wasn't for being able to catch fish and bring them in, um, at a relatively successful pace, then I definitely I know for sure that I would not be playing it as much as I'm playing it right now. If that was my first experience, if that was how I experienced Fishing Planet at the start of the game, where it was 2 or 3 hours and only one fish, I probably will not be playing it as hardcore as I do now because now it's pretty. It's like it's pretty enjoyable um, to do it. So I'm just gonna spend probably another 10 minutes recording, and I'm gonna try this area. This area has regular Chinooks. I'm gonna see if I can get one to bite. Um, any other normal person makes a video, tells you the hotspots are over here, and this is the only place that they can catch unis. And everybody who plays this game knows the way the game works, and anybody who's spent enough experience knows the games work. So I'm just gonna do it over here. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some normal Chinooks because normal Chinooks give the best um, experience in my opinion. They're bigger, but I have the gear to get them out. And I'm hoping that I'll get a fish to bite. And you'll see what I mean about the map being dead. Because, why would there not be a fish here? If this is a populated area, why would there not be any kind of species of fish here? Alright, that's two casts, not a thing. Reel it in again. I mean, you saw me. You just saw me. Same method, same lures, catching fish like crazy, catching the three top the three top species here: the Chinook, the coho, chum, and the chum is all over the place. You can catch chum all the way to the very top of the river, all the way to here, over there. I didn't catch any at the downstream, but I don't think they go all the way to the downstream. But the chum is pretty much all over the place around this area. And I guess the coho start from the the unique Chinook area all the way down to the bottom where the unique coho appear. But I've cast 2, 3 times. Look at this, nothing. 2, 3 times, nothing. What's going on? Why is it not biting? I mean, all the fish. There should be a fish here. I mean, I'm not getting it. I'll even switch to this. Look, I'll do us a favor. I'll switch to this nymph. And I know it's big, but I'm already in a snag. Just gonna do stop and go. Nothing. I'm wondering if I need to switch. I don't think I have anything. I don't think I have a smaller jig. That's why I haven't been fishing with it. Let's look at my jigs real quick. Well, 1 1/4 ounce, 1 and 14s, 1/14s. I mean, can I even cast that? No, it says too light. Can I cast this? Still says too light. Oh, I think somebody's calling on the phone. It just had some beeping sound. I'll even try this white one. I know it says it's too light, but whatever. Oh, that's not far at all. I'm gonna switch down to speed 2. Let's give it a little crank, bring it in. Give it a little crank, bring it in. And I'm burning hours. Like you saw how many fish I was catching, right? And that's what I'm saying. There's like no chance for deviation, no chance for experimentation, nothing. It's like if you want to be successful, this is what you got to do, and there's nothing else to it. Like there's no, basically it's one way or the highway. Okay, because why in the world would I not be able to catch a fish on the nymph? Is it because it's cloudy? Is it because nymphs don't look edible? I don't know. I don't. I mean, when you go to the fish store, it tells you what kind of lures and stuff should work here, right? And then you're like, all right, this is where the water breaks and it starts being deeper. This is where fish should be. All right, I'm gonna fish a nymph right here. I'm gonna crawl around the rocks so it looks like some kind of little animal crawling around the rocks, getting away. You know, they got washed down from the current, and the fish that are sitting there waiting are just trying to eat that little frog or whatever it could be that's swimming down there. They got pulled on the other undercurrent, shad or something, and I'm working it right. I'm just dragging it around the rocks. Nothing. Completely non-responsive. And now it's 6:23. You saw how many fish I had. So let's just break from that because I'm running out of my time to stream here. Just break from that. Let's come over here. I know I'm wasting precious time where I could be landing fish. And so it's like, why don't you try anything else, Daniel? Why don't you do anything else? And I would love to. I would love to show all kinds of varied lures and techniques and everything, but nothing is responsive to it. Nothing actually makes the game uh, trigger a bite except for these crankbaits in this little fishing area right here. And I mean, this is the cloudy weather, right? So I'm just doing what I was doing before, throwing my green crankbait, holding down speed 2 on uh, my Galaxy Cast, I think is what it's called, and just reeling it in, just reeling it in. So let's see what happens. I mean, if I didn't get a bite this time, this area might be dead. Bring it in here. Oh, see? Second cast, got a fish. Second cast, got a fish. Even though it's a chum, right? Even though it is a simple chum, I caught him here. And I know chum all over the place because I've caught them at Middle Earth. I've caught chum here, and I've caught chum up here. And now I'm catching chum here because this is due to the new patch, right? But why was I not able to catch anything right up there? What? Why? And I mean, maybe I'm just like no, I just don't want to accept the game the way it is, or I'm just bringing it up for new time viewers or people that constantly watch my videos, and I thank you all for watching my videos, putting up with these antics. Um, this is the new patch. Um, I recommend you guys give it a shot now. Uh, it does feel a little bit more alive. You can tell what's going on, but um, like I'm saying, you can't fish the entire river, expect to fish anywhere like you would in reality. There's only certain areas, and just stick to those certain points, and that's the only way to win at this game. So if you're looking for uh, a different type of fishing experience, there's no other fishing game out there that has that, especially for PC. And if you know of one, then tell me about it, because I would sure like to give it a try, especially one with first person angling like this and bank fishing like this. But my issue is that, like for example, like one of my favorite games was Super Black Bass for the Nintendo 6, from the Super Nintendo. You were on the boat and you went around. You had radar. You fished it, and you caught fish. And I remember Super Black Bass because there was like a little secret area that could take your boat and catch the monster bass, which had teeth and stuff, and end up in the newspaper and winning tournaments and all this and other stuff. And it was fun because there was fish everywhere, and it was kind of realistic, like where fish would appear where the vegetation was, and fish would appear in deeper areas, and this and that. But on there, like you could almost go just about anywhere, and the lake would provide. So this game doesn't have that. This game isn't a game where you can go anywhere and the river will provide. The river only provides in three hot spots, and then those hot spots start getting smaller and smaller, and and then it'll get to the point where you won't catch another fish. We call that diminishing hotspots, and that's why you have to go to different areas to catch them. And I was trying to show you the two main areas to focus on during cloudy days and what to use. While I'm at it, before I leave, I'm going to give you an image of another lure that you should go ahead and give a try. It's let me see, it's this 1.5 ounce spoon, lemon tiger spoon, or what is it, 1.5 4/0 medium spoon. To fish it, leave it on speed, speed 2 or speed 3. Cast it in the same little areas over here, and I was able to I was able to catch a coho and chum with it. You should be able to catch kings with them. Um, I think I was doing speed 3, just bringing them in like this, giving it a couple feet. There's a stop and go every now and then. I do a lift and drop just to work the spoon on the bottom. Um, and some people have better luck with this than the green crankbaits or the blue crankbaits. A lot of people are swearing by the blue. I used to use the blue nonstop, but now I don't get off of the green. The green has provided for me, and I'll keep using it. Um, People are swearing by these lemon tigers. I just did it. Didn't catch the fish first cast. Feel free to try it. If you're not catching anything on the green crankbait, try this. A lot of people are swearing on the red one. I don't have the right size red one. I don't have all these green screens are real good around here. If you have large minnows, you can do the same setup as this, but with a 6/0 hook and a large minnow, and fish this area here and see what's going on. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. So far, I can tell you that Alaska seems good, and I think I'll play it tomorrow. Um, as a matter of fact, I'll definitely play it tomorrow, at least for another 2 or 3 days, or another at least for another while, at least for another hour or so, or maybe two. If I have the energy, I'll stream it when I wake up. If you're wondering about Enderall or at all, if you know anything about this, a Skyrim mod, I do videos on that too. I've been waiting for patches and stuff for Enderall, which have been translated in some of the German text. I'll probably try to get on it tomorrow as well. I've been having that RPG itch, and I'm playing Pillars of Eternity. I was gonna make a video on it, but since I'm started already, I was like, I don't know. Um, if anybody knows what Pillars of Eternity is and wants to watch it, leave me a message, and I'll definitely do it. If not, um, I might do it regardless. So this is a, but in the end, this is Alaska uh, server side patch. Looks to have fixed a lot of issues. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you on the next stream.